That's why we're saying he's not in it.
We're saying like, but the people that aren't in it are going to be the Salahs, the Ronaldos, the Bales, the Hazards, the Robins, the Joe Coles, the Damien Duffs, the Perezes, the Lundbergs.
Okay, but Robin played.
That's what I'm saying.
Robin played left wing of a 4-4-2.
No, he didn't. Chelsea played 4-3-3.
He didn't. He played on the left of Drogba in the middle and Joe Cole on the right.
Yeah.
Okay, but you would never call Robin or Joe Cole a forward.
That's what I'm saying.
You would call them midfielders.
You'd call them wingers.
Salah's not a midfielder. You could never call him a midfielder.
He's not an out-and-out striker either.
What do you mean an out-and-out striker?
We're talking about out-and-out strikers.
You're talking about
we're talking about Shearer.
Okay. What about fucking Duncan Edwards?
But when he didn't play in the Premiership.
Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying
it's all happening.
But Duncan Edwards was a forward.
After our weekend, by the way, I'm just letting you know.
Winger.
Okay,
you would say someone like Bobby.
Right, let's get started.
You'd be like Bobby Charlton if you want to talk about like the number 9 from that era.
Jimmy Greaves wins it.
Yeah.
You're either a forward or you're a midfielder.
Yeah.
Ian Rush.
We're going number 9s and 10s. Number 9s.
Number 9s. Yeah. Don't say 10s.
Don't
say because he'll say Mane.
Basically, Tony's nose does not go outside of Liverpool, so he has to have Salah as number 1.
No.
Mane's a forward, surely.
Yeah, exactly. How the fuck would Mane not be a forward?
Because again, he was in the front 3.
Do you know what? I think this is going to be an
hard.
education in the fact that people don't know what position.
Well, I've probably got ones in mind that aren't.
If you're saying a forward,
if you've managed to get Mane in the top 10 Premier League strikers,
it's not that.
Then I've got to just might as well leave now.
I wouldn't put him in there either. But you also can't say he wasn't a forward.
But we're going centre forwards.
But Hazard was a forward. I wouldn't put him in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Name, apart from Harry Kane, name a modern day.
Haaland.
Apart from him as well.
Isak. Watkins.
Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
He better not be in your fucking list.
No, you're asking modern day strikers.
150 fucking Premier League goals. Won the Premier League.
And he won the league.
He's won the Premier League.
Okay. All right.
Let's go.
Let's get on with this fucking.
Welcome to Football or Soccer, the podcast. Right, we are all here today,
yes.
Live in effect, and we are going through.
I'm going to need another fucking espresso for this.
10 best
strikers Martini, kiddo,
of the Premier League era. We have been debating this over fucking days with this idiot over here, Mr. Liverpool, because he wants to have a team of Liverpool, obviously.
Actually, it had nothing to do with Liverpool.
Of course it does.
I just need to know that you understood what a position is.
We are going to clarify here.
Yes.
Right, and it is...
Centre forward, what foot are they?
What? Makes no difference.
What foot do they play with? Because you're being so specific, do they need to play with a
Basically, what Tony's got the umpires is we've discounted Salah from this as Ronaldo, because we are going to do another episode.
But Ronaldo's a winger, though.
He's not, because he played up front. He's the greatest goal scorer in Real Madrid's history as well.
Exactly.
But as I said with the Salah song, it's Mo Salah running down the wing.
We're going players that played centre.
That was a pretty good retort, I've got to say. I saw that on the chat, I was like,
It's bullshit.
He's not running through the middle.
The guys that played down the middle. The guys that played down the middle, the main men.
We're also going to do a separate episode for right forwards, left forwards.
No.
Right backs.
It's only Tony that seems to have a...
Right side of...
Yeah, we are going to do one for right backs, left wingers, left wingers. Yes, actually, I do like that.
So,
we'll give you that.
Right side of central midfield, left side of central midfield, right
No, because there's two in... We're talking about... Because a lot of players played with 2 up front, so we're going with them 2 up front. They're both in it. Yes, you're right. People that played centrally between the 18-yard box, 6-yard box.
You're a silly sausage.
So Tony, so we understand. Tony's got to change his list now.
Say what you see.
Right, we're going to get into it, because otherwise this episode's going to be 1,000 years old. Yes. Right, here we go. Number 10, Sam, who you got?
My number 10 is somebody that Tony and Chris will actually appreciate.
I know who it is.
You guys used to call him Le God.
Yeah,
Robbie Fowler.
Their God.
Well played.
I think. Do you know what? I'm going to just put a caveat to this.
Yeah,
it is pretty. My 10 could have been written in any order.
Yeah.
Because it is too difficult. Yeah. Like it is. And this actually could have been, as Tony's saying as well, and the reason why we're saying this is because it could have been a 50.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult.
I did manage to narrow mine down, though.
I think my top 3 are probably in my order there.
Yeah.
But these are also players that I liked watching. But
Yeah.
see, Fowler never made mine.
Did not.
But he was
Interesting.
possibly my favourite ever player watching.
For me, it was between Fowler and Michael Owen.
Both, yeah.
And I thought Fowler was probably just that little less injury prone, let's say. He did have his injury issues towards the latter end of his career.
Yeah.
But Michael Owen, if he didn't have those major crucial injuries early
it's
on,
amazing, wasn't it?
I think he'd be in my list instead. So Robbie Fowler for me, number 10.
Fair enough.
Great. Anyone? Who'd you go for?
Andy Cole.
Again.
It's a good one.
And I don't think you can doubt any of these in any position. Because
We've had so many good forwards.
both of yours never made mine.
Really?
Like,
Andy Cole
which
did?
is, and I'm going, and if I was watching this going, you're an idiot. How could you not, like, and I agree. Like, how could you not have Andy Cole in it? How could you not have, like, Andy Cole is one of the greatest goal scorers.
Andy Cole didn't make my list.
At multiple
No.
clubs. At multiple clubs as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So with mine, because again, it's so, you could just do the top 10 scorers and they're what they are.
that's also,
So I've done who I like watching.
Yeah.
So I've done who are my top 10, and people can obviously disagree with that, and obviously it's going to be a little bit influenced.
because you had to
I'm a
break
Liverpool
it down
fan.
a little bit, don't you? Because otherwise you can't, it would just be the top 10 goal
Like,
scorers in the ever.
for instance, yeah, exactly. Like, I haven't got Harry Kane on my list because I didn't really love watching
don't
Harry
have
Kane
Harry
play.
Kane?
No, because he wasn't.
hell?
No, I know, but it's not. I know he's amazing. I know he's amazing.
Someone else will
But
say that
obviously-
about-
Even he's got him on there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, Sam. This is my list.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
It's my
That's
list.
fair.
this.
That's
So
fair.
yours
And
is a who you
so
like.
and trust me, it's not just a bunch of Liverpool players, although there's a few. But and I am disclaiming.
Nunes, number 10.
I really did, you know.
Cinema
I was in the car.
Morientes.
No, he was a midfielder.
I nearly stuck him in there.
Balotelli.
By the way, maybe we should stick him in. He was fucking great, Balotelli. Wasn't he? But just to
Wait until you've seen my number 2 is Divock Origi.
So who are you going for number 10?
So as I say, it's the guys that I like watching. Didier Drogba is at my number 10,
Yeah.
because he was just a monster.
Monster.
What a
Big game player.
Big game player, could do it all. Yeah,
Loved
loved
the
watching
game
him
against
play.
Arsenal.
And he could have been any of these again. As you say,
I know
they
he's in
could all-
yours. He's in mine as well, Drog as well.
You couldn't
So it's,
beat.
I just think, so we'll
Yeah.
talk about him a bit later, but and I've gone number 10, Ruud van Nistelrooy,
Oh,
Interesting.
which,
that's
He's
great.
higher for me.
May as well.
and he, again, it's that debate. He should be higher.
yeah,
Like, I agree as well that I think he should be a lot higher. But Andy Cole for me as well, I think should be a lot higher as well. So it's,
Do you know you can't mention without Andy Cole as Dwight York? He's
right.
Not,
Yeah.
he's not in
That's
mine,
no,
but he was brilliant.
They were good.
The
He
two of them
was.
together.
he was
weren't they?
brilliant
He
for a
wasn't
couple of years.
Yeah,
really,
he
wasn't
wasn't so much a goal scorer, York. He was just
Yeah.
more. He was like he
The
was
link man, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
brilliant
but
link
he scored a
man.
lot of goals though.
He did in the season.
To
he won
be
the
fair,
Prem, he
all
did.
4 of those should be on this list. Sheringham, Cole,
Sheringham as well. Yeah, he's not
Solskjaer.
on, but
Solskjaer.
he's amazing. No, Solskjaer.
he scored some goals. Scored
By the
some
way,
goals.
talking about your James
Important
Vardy,
goals.
Yeah, he scored a lot of important
Harry
goals.
Kane never won the league, did he? Either? That's the other thing. That was
No,
the other
no.
reason why I didn't stick with him.
Harry Kane
Although he's
won
obviously
fucking
amazing.
toss-up.
He did win his first trophy this weekend, though.
He did. And it was a
Arguably,
shield.
I think
know,
if Harry Kane had won the Premier League,
Funny, isn't it?
we'd all be talking about him as number 1. Or if he'd have
Correct.
played for a bigger club,
Correct.
we'd be probably
If he
talking
would have
about him
signed
winning.
for,
City or
instead of
United.
Munich, then yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think if he'd have won the league, you'd probably say Harry Kane was the greatest striker. But we're going in. Right, anyway. Ruud van Nistelrooy gone. Number 9, Sam.
Jamie Vardy.
Jamie Vardy.
Yeah.
It's a great shout. I nearly had him in.
I don't.
Outrageous.
How
It is a
can
bit
you-
of an,
11
I've
on
got to
my
say,
list.
out of all the 10, I think that is a bit of an outrageous, but
But I'll tell you why. Because look at the level that he's played at,
And where he came from.
where he came from, and what he's achieved.
he
And
does score a lot of goals.
The guy,
Is
the
this
guy.
not the best,
But the
not
guy-
the best
sorry.
story.
No, but the guy. Hang on a second. The guy scored. The guy's got the record for the most goals scored consecutively in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Because he's been there for about fucking 37 years.
No, he hasn't.
No,
What are
no,
you
no.
talking about? No, 11 games in a row. He beat. Van
He scored
Nistelrooy's
11
record.
games in a row. He beat Van
I think it's a
Nistelrooy's
good
record.
shout.
It was Van
I think
Nistelrooy's
it's a
record,
good
wasn't
shout.
it?
He scored 100.
Listen, I don't mind him as a player.
Let me say this:
Go on.
how many Premiership goals do you think Suarez scored in the Premier League?
Well, he's a lot higher on my list than Jamie Vardy. Let me tell you that.
He had. I actually looked at Suarez's
Listen,
numbers
yeah,
yesterday.
how many
Suarez had
seasons
2
has
good.
Suarez played in the Premier League?
He played
versus
4.
Vardy?
He played 4 in the
How
Premier
many
League.
Vardy played?
Vardy's done about 7 or 8.
No, he's done more than that.
No, because they've done championship as well, haven't they?
They were championship. And,
anyway, so he's played double the amount.
But remember as well,
games,
but remember, since they won the league, though, they've only, call it 8-9 years of being a top level player. In his latter, it's not like he's young in his 20s. He's done this in his 30s.
He only had
as well.
2 years at the top.
That's what he's done. This
with winning the league, and then the year after, and then after that, they've been down the bottom.
And then he's come back up. But for somebody to have scored 150 plus goals in the Premier League, I think and to have won it,
Vauxhall Conference.
yeah,
He started.
and to have come from those
I'm
levels.
I'm
That
not saying,
trajectory, that
I'm not saying he
achievement.
wasn't a good player or like
If he'd done it, if he was a one season wonder, maybe. But he's been consistent. He's been consistently good.
Again, I'm not saying.
I just think there's 10 better players.
There's just easily 10 better players. I think.
But he's done it in that team. How well would he have done it if he'd been played for someone like Arsenal, or if he was in a proper
especially
team?
the fact that you put Robbie Fowler behind him is
Yeah, but it was
criminal.
It was also different times, like. But look at the other players that he was competing with at the
That is
time.
criminal, by the way. I'm not being
I don't
Liverpool
know.
biased.
I don't know, but he won a Premier League. Robbie Fowler didn't.
That's true.
That's I fucking hate that.
True.
Yeah, I don't. I knew they'd hate that.
It's such a silly thing.
You got a guy called God that never won the Premier League. Like, it's
Okay, but Jimmy Traore won the European Cup. He was shit.
he showed up when it mattered.
No, he didn't.
Tone, who are you going in at number 9? We've got to move it along, otherwise we'll never finish
Never
the
finish.
episode.
Number 9 was Robbie Fowler.
We've discussed Fowler.
Probably one of my favourite players to watch. Chris?
I've gone with Erling Haaland. And again, it's mine. I mean, he could have been, they could all be at top, but I've gone Erling Haaland now.
I think I think we probably will be talking in years to come that he is number 1.
Yeah.
I think that will happen.
Yeah. In the future, I think.
I think what he's done in the Premiership is insane.
Yeah.
Actually, he's higher on mine.
Oh, he could be.
Haaland's higher on mine as well.
Yeah,
Listen, there's a better. Again, this is my list. Who I like watching, and obviously don't like watching City win, but he's got to be on there because he's fucking great footballer. So he's there.
treble winner.
Yeah, no, I know.
I have gone Luis Suarez. So
Interesting.
Suarez, I've gone at number 9.
Suarez was a toss-up for me on my list.
Yeah,
being on the list.
These will have him very high.
He had
Listen,
Suarez had one good
he's
season.
Not very high on mine, but
He had one
Suarez,
blinding season.
for 2 seasons. Unplayable.
Suarez scored. I think he scored.
Unplayable. The probably apart from Steven Gerrard, the best player I've seen play in the flesh.
That's right.
No, but
he would get the ball.
To be honest with
and
you,
lose it 5 times, but score
Agree.
fucking goals. From
but he
Suarez
was no
wasn't-
better than Torres.
No, I don't
he
think.
was.
No,
He was.
Torres. No. Torres had his time where he was
Torres
amazing.
was.
No, but he was.
Suarez had two good.
Styles.
Suarez had two
were
good
both-
years for
What
you.
was his
Suarez-
best scoring year?
I know. I just said that.
Suarez
31.
was the most exciting
31.
player I think we've ever had. I would go as far as to
Say that again?
I think he's the most exciting player that we've
Suarez?
ever had. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
which is why he's way
Yeah.
up on my list.
He was an animal. The lad.
He was, yeah,
An animal.
almost too much.
He
of
was
an
he,
animal,
he was an
literally.
amazing player,
By
but
people,
for 2 good seasons, does he get in the top 10
Well,
of all
That,
time?
that's what I mean.
No. He only played for 4.
Yeah.
There was one season where he was banned for.
I'm looking
12
at his
games,
stats now. First year he came in January, he scored 4 goals in 13.
Right.
Second season, 11 in 31, which is not great.
Yeah.
No, but he's
Third season he got 23 and 33,
But Sam,
and
look
fourth he
at
got
those
31.
goals. Look at some of those goals.
Yeah,
To be fair, about 15 of them were against Norwich, and they're
Yeah.
all incredible. But
Yeah, but
Six of
look
them
at what
were
look at
against
how
Norwich,
he look at
or
those
7.
goals.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
Like he would score a
what he
hat
did
trick.
with the ball was.
Don't get me wrong. Like the goals against Newcastle from the halfway line, and like all
He's
those,
right.
like, he was incredible.
We're judging on longevity,
I
like people who've done.
when
Like Harry Kane.
Yeah, I was.
Done it
I didn't mind
over
more.
all
That's
these
why.
years.
That's
Who's more
why.
exciting, Luis
That's
Suarez or
why, for
Harry
example.
No, but who's
Okay, let me put this out
longer
there.
and
Well,
better?
done better again. If it's just how many goals you've scored, then the list's already made.
But it's
So-
but it's longevity. Like that's why for me,
It's not
Suarez.
longevity,
That's
you
why
know.
Vardy
He's
goes
the
in
best.
over
He would
Suarez.
be the first
Kevin Phillips had 2 great seasons.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. Who's going to be first on your team sheet if they're all in their prime? That's I think a good barometer. Like, who are you picking? Who's you picking ahead of? Are you having Luis Suarez ahead of Harry Kane?
Yeah, no, I'd have Harry Kane.
So
I
you
would
might do, and
actually
that's
probably
fair.
have Harry Kane in his prime, but
Yeah.
Suarez would be it'd be very.
I'm not being funny.
Because then
Suarez, in
Suarez
his
went to
prime is
Barcelona
unbelievable.
and then done it. Then Atletico
Yeah.
Madrid done it. Amazing.
Yeah.
We are not
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
we are not actually disputing Luis Suarez's ability. Here.
No.
The thing is, when he was there for barely 4 years, you can't say, "Oh, he doesn't have the longevity," because how could he have?
He did it for two amazing seasons, but he was better at
He went to
Barcelona than he was at Liverpool.
And then he went to
He was
Atletico
better at
Madrid and
Barcelona
won
for
it.
1 year.
He was what?
I'd say he was better at Barcelona than he was at Liverpool.
He was only better at Barcelona for 1 year, and then Suarez, he dropped off.
No, I think he had a couple. He had about 3 good seasons at Barca.
Yeah,
He did.
he did.
He was scoring like
But
50.
And then he went and won the league.
Remember how good he was at Liverpool for those 2 years.
So at Barcelona, his record was 25 goals in 43, 59 in 53,
So that's different. Yeah.
37 and 51, 31 and 51. I mean, yeah, at Barcelona.
That's
So
straight
2
away.
years.
4.
He had
Scored over 30 goals every year.
He had 6 unbelievable seasons
I
at
understand
Barcelona.
that, but he was also playing,
It's good for a couple of weeks.
he was also playing with
He also won
Neymar
everything.
And Messi. He was also playing with Neymar.
That's what I'm saying, he
And
won.
Messi at
Yeah.
Barcelona.
So that's what I'm saying. So again, going back to my point about Jamie Vardy, like someone like him was playing with the Messis and the Suarezes and the Neymars.
How many would they have scored?
How many would they have scored?
And Harry Kane.
He wouldn't have gotten
Harry Kane at Tottenham.
But I'm saying if he was in that kind of team, so that's
But
why.
he would have been on the bench in that kind of team, though.
But hypothetically, if
Yeah,
he was
I
in
know.
that front three.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Right, number 8, Sam.
Did you do yours?
Num-
Who was yours?
No, you haven't done yours.
Yeah, I was Luis Suarez.
Oh, there you go.
That's what started this debate.
my number 8 was Van Nistelrooy.
Ruud van Nistelrooy, la 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 la. We've gone through. Amazing player.
Yeah.
Tone?
I went Van Nistelrooy as well.
Oh, an agreement.
I was actually
Yeah.
going. Yeah, I was actually going back and forth between 2.
Van Nistelrooy was such a sign.
Yeah,
Number
I loved
7
him.
Was very nice.
Loved him.
He was like, what a signing for Manchester
Yeah.
United
He was the same as Suarez. He was an animal.
And he actually, they bought him, didn't they? And then do you remember the picture of him where he'd done his
On his
cruise ship,
cruise
wasn't
ship,
it?
in training.
In
The
training.
year before
Where
that.
was he?
PSV.
PSV. And then they went back a year later and got him, didn't
Got
they?
him, yeah.
And he
When he
was the
recovered.
difference to them coming.
Apparently, when he did his cruise ship, Ferguson flew over. And
Said, "Don't worry.
Don't worry, we'll take you next year.
Yeah.
Get your
Get fit and come over."
mad. He got himself back.
What a good decision that was.
The who did you go, Chris?
Alan Shearer.
That's number 8.
I know. My favourite.
Number 8
My favourite.
was the 7.
My
Was the 7
favourite.
or 8?
Big Al, if you're watching this, I am sorry. Apologies on behalf of Chris.
I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a Liverpool
The greatest Premier League striker of all time is 8.
I'm here to
Did
throw.
make the top 5.
If it was just, as I say, if it
I
was just
can't
the
wait
best
to
goal
listen to who's
scorer,
ahead. I cannot wait to listen to who is ahead of Alan Shearer.
I just look.
By the way, before we do get higher up the list, are we talking here players who have played in the Premier League or players who were at their peak in the Premier League?
Players
They're
that-
2 different things.
No.
I think I know
At
where
their
Big
best
Man's
in
going
the
here.
at the best
There's
in
a
the
method
Premier
to the
League.
madness.
Okay.
They've
All
got
right.
to be in the
But then-
best.
but then
It
there's no-
can't be Morientes, for example.
Yeah, but Sam, then it's the fucking list is the list. What's the point of
Everyone's
discussing
listed.
it?
No, the list is the list, and that
The
one
list
is
is the list.
that was quite
Obviously, Alan's
humorous.
at the top.
Yeah, that
I've
was
got to
quite
be honest
that
with you.
did tickle me, that one.
The Alan Shearer number 8.
was
Alan Shearer. Alan Shearer. I hope someone sends this to Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Please send it to Alan Shearer. I need him to see that he is 8th on the all-time
Yes.
best Premier League
And
strikers.
how funny we found
I
that.
said at the start of the thing,
Yes.
it's who I like, my list. It
That's
ain't
fair,
the best.
it's
The
fair.
best is the
It's-
best. It's obviously the
No,
best.
it's
And Alan's
totally
fucking
fair.
amazing,
It's
obviously.
totally fair.
You know what? I'll give you points for it, Chris. Right? I remember watching Alan Shearer play for Southampton against Liverpool, and he got fouled in the box and it wasn't given, and he ripped up the penalty spot. Ever since then, I didn't.
It's
win.
not even that. It's
I
just-
love Alan Shearer.
No, I'm joking.
All right, look.
But yeah, I remember.
Alan Shearer is one of my favourite people still on TV.
I
I
love
like
him
him
on
on
TV.
TV.
Oh, I do.
I don't mind him.
Fucking
As a
hate Alan
player,
Shearer.
I
He's a
love it.
legend.
I don't mind him on TV.
I love
I-
it because he's a huge. Do you know? I listen to is it The Rest Is Football, which is their podcast, right?
With Micah
And Gary,
Yeah.
and he was there. I would actually listen to the start of it this morning because obviously Newcastle won yesterday. He said, "Where are you, Al?" He said, "I'm sorry, I'm going to be swearing, screaming, and talking a load of gibberish." He said, "I've been on the piss for 8 hours." He said, I'm on a golf tournament." He said, "And we've been in a bar for 8 hours now." And he said, "And we are hammered." And he goes up the tune like that. So
He is great, Shearer. I do like him.
I like that. Well, anyway, right. I have gone Didier Drogba.
For your number 8, yeah?
8. He's got in there. I think Drogba. I think other people are going to talk about him on a higher list. It's funny. I never looked at Drogba as an amazing goal scorer, which probably hampers him a little bit on my list, but he probably should have been. But he played in one of the best sides in the Premier League.
He was just a big game. He was a big game player.
God,
he was a big game
He really
player.
was, wasn't he?
He really was.
He scored in a lot of finals. He scored
12 out of 13 finals, I think he scored in.
and big games. He was a proper player. But we'll go to Drogba later, actually, because I know he'll be higher. Number 7.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Oh, didn't even make my list.
Really?
Oh,
Do you know what? I didn't even
What a
consider
player.
him. That's funny. Yeah.
And I'll tell you
What's
why.
a player?
And I'll tell you why. It wasn't for his
because he's
goals.
not an out-and-out goal scorer. That's
Correct.
why.
It wasn't for
Could
his.
put him as a number 10.
Correct.
He
It
was a
it-
number 10.
He was a number 8.
Yeah.
It was
Then
a.
wait.
No, that was the number.
Here we go.
Wait.
That was the number on his shirt.
So
That was the number on his shirt. He wasn't a number.
No,
By the way,
he's number 10
Sam,
on
to
his
be
shirt.
fair, he's on my
Bergkamp
list. So.
10.
Didn't he have number 8?
No,
but no, it was
10.
Ian Wright that was
Ljungberg,
number 8.
yeah,
it was
Ian Wright was number 8.
But Ian Wright was.
Yeah, but Ian Wright wasn't
all
number
right,
8.
but
Yeah.
forget the number on his shirt. So we can have.
No. When I said he was a number,
playing forward.
Let me
But
finish.
We can't have a right-sided centre forward.
Let me finish. Dennis Bergkamp, at the time when he was brought into the Premier League, was one of the first foreign names out there. What he did for the Premier League
So fucking what?
was incredible.
Sam, he's higher on my list.
But his
I
position
mean,
And rightly so.
But he was
Again,
he was a forward. He was in the forward 2.
Yeah, he was in a 4-4-2.
He played just behind Henry.
Yeah, he did.
He played
All
just
right,
behind
so
Henry.
4-4-2. But you can't have 4-3-3.
No, well, you can, but you have the one in the middle.
Yeah.
So yes, you can have
You
4-3-3.
could- So who
Look,
was-
Salah's not in it.
I've accepted.
Mo Salah! Mo Salah!
Running down the wing.
If you play Salah up front, which he has done many times,
Yes, he has done. Yeah.
so has Marcus Rashford. So they're about similar potential as
Marcus
well.
yeah.
Rashford better not be on anybody's
No.
list.
Oh, he's high in mine.
Fuck off.
So number 7 for me, Dennis Bergkamp.
All
The
right.
Flying Dutchman.
Yeah.
Tone?
Drogba.
Drogba, the Drog, amazing.
Fernando Torres.
Yeah.
And again,
Good
look,
shout.
I'm
No,
coming-
but I do agree.
Yeah.
He warrants a place on there.
Of course, look, I'm coming from this. Like, you look at the goal. Like, who scored the more exciting goals? Who scored? When you look at their goals, Alan Shearer obviously was fucked, and he scored some worldies. But when you look at some of the goals that these guys scored, I think the guys that are above them on my list scored better goals. That's
Yeah.
more exciting, more compelling
Torres was an amazing
goals.
player.
That's where I'm
Amazing.
going. So
Not
apologies,
for
Alan.
Chelsea.
No,
Love you,
he was
but
dog shit for
that's-
Chelsea. We scored one great goal for Chelsea.
Didn't he win?
Win
was it
Champions
the
League
European
final?
Cup
Semi-final against
Semi-final?
Barcelona.
Yeah, he scored in that. But I mean,
Well,
no, but
he
he won the
won for
final.
it,
He
right?
won.
Yeah.
He won the final for you, didn't he? No, sorry.
He came on.
He won the.
Yeah, he won the
trophy,
he won the Champions League. We
Yeah.
did the double that year. We won the FA Cup too that year.
Yeah, what happened
Yeah.
when he went to you guys? Because he was for us. He was like maybe one of the best ever.
He was injured
obviously.
when he came to us,
He just
wasn't
didn't
he?
ever do it. He just.
Didn't do it, did
He'd come back. He'd
But he
come back
didn't
for
do
you.
terrible.
He did.
He did, yeah.
No, but I think
wasn't
it was
great.
just from
His own
where he
high
was.
standards.
I bet if you looked at his stats,
He won the Europa. He scored in the Europa League final for us.
Let's
Well,
have a look.
There
Torres.
was an interview with. I
wanna see his goals for Chelsea.
Or whatever, but with Carragher, where when Carragher
His goal
said
record wasn't that great. It was like
they
30 and
couldn't
100 or
believe
something like that.
That Chelsea had paid 50 million because.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, because he was
say that.
injured because of his knees.
Well, for a little bit before he left Liverpool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't great because
He left us in the lurch as well.
Yeah,
so at the
first
time.
season
'Cause he-
one, second season
we didn't have any
11.
chance. Remember, we
22 he got in the
He
third
left in
season.
Yeah.
January.
And then 11
yeah,
again.
we
About
had
11
with
of
like
those
a
were in
day to
Europa.
go.
We signed
Andy Carroll.
But we signed Carroll and Suarez though.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some. That's the perfect example of
Yeah.
you win some, you lose some. You sign Andy Carroll and Luis Suarez.
Do you know what's funny, which you'd never would have think about Torres? Torres was at Chelsea
For 5
the
years.
exact 4 years, exact
Was he
same
really?
time he was at Liverpool.
Was
Yeah.
he really?
Yeah. Liverpool. And look, he
only
had
had 2 good years.
33, 17, 22, and then 9 at Liverpool.
Yeah.
But you know,
He
that
scored
was
81
when-
goals for
That
Liverpool.
was when 22 goals in a Premier League season.
Yeah, but that wasn't Premier League. That was all games.
But even so, like because remember, in
Yeah, like 15 goals Premier League, won you the
Exactly,
Golden
that
Boot.
That was a
Yeah.
solid
Yeah.
season, whereas
'Cause they were
you-
better defenders
You would go
then.
back to the likes of Andy Cole and stuff like that. They were scoring 30 goals each season,
Yeah.
and then it went down, and now it's going back up again a little bit. You know,
Who have I gone? My number 7 is a number 7, Cantona.
Mate, fuck off. that man is a midfield player.
That's what I thought.
Eric Cantona.
Are you mad?
No. Cantona wasn't a midfielder.
He was not a midfielder.
Who did he play up front with?
Andy Cole.
Yeah.
White York and Teddy Sheringham weren't there?
No,
Teddy
they weren't at the club.
Teddy Sheringham wasn't there. Sheringham wasn't there.
replaced Cantona.
Yeah, but Sheringham was the striker as well.
Sheringham came in the season
mad?
they won the treble.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
Did I just hear that right? That he was a midfielder now?
Listen, I'm not interested.
Eric
in this
Cantona
fluid
was a striker.
rule
Yeah.
Bullshit. Eric Cantona was an attacking midfield player.
No, he wasn't.
He was a striker.
He was a striker. He was a striker.
So I would have gone with you on that.
All
He's
right,
not on my list for that reason.
My next five are Alisson Becker, Bruce Grobler, and
But that's just silly, isn't it? You just sound silly.
So was Steven Gerrard not a forward then?
No.
He played further forward, I would say, than Eric Cantona.
What? Sam, please help me. Yeah?
I can't.
I
don't even have
can't.
words.
I can't even respond.
like-
I can't even dignify it with a response.
Was Eric Cantona a centre
Steven
forward?
Gerrard. Eric Cantona played
wouldn't
further
consider him
back
that
than
forward,
Steven
obviously.
Gerrard.
I
now.
was specifically...
Says mostly utilised as a deep line forward. He was also capable of playing as a centre forward and as a dedicated striker.
Yeah.
Also capable.
Yeah, he was a deep line forward, it said. Deep lying forward.
So he was like a Bergkamp.
Midfielder.
He was exactly the same position as Bergkamp.
Beckham.
Exactly the same.
Bergkamp was not a centre forward either.
He was.
He was more of a centre forward than Cantona. Cantona was an attacking midfielder in a way.
He wasn't. He played 4-4-2.
I wouldn't
Was
say
he
he
a
was-
centre forward.
He was the
Cantona
4-4-2.
was in the 2 and the 4-4-2.
Yeah.
He wasn't
He
in
was.
the midfield.
All right, boys.
We
crack on.
had Keenan
Okay.
Scholes in the midfield.
Yeah. And Beckham
And
and Giggs
Beckham
on
and
the one.
Giggs on the left and the right. And then you had Cantona and you had...
Either McClare, Hughes,
Cantona
or
and-
All right, now
or Cole.
McClare.
Yeah. That's who played up front for
Yeah.
Manchester United.
Time.
Back in the day.
What we on?
Day.
In actual fact, it was Brian McClare, number 9.
Yeah. and Kanchelskis was there. Like, and that
Winger,
whole team
yeah.
on the wings.
Right wing.
Okay, listen. I was specifically instructed last night. Your 10 top
100 comments later.
forward players. And we're putting fucking Eric Cantona in there.
I would put
Eric
it-
Cantona is one of the best attacking midfielders.
He was not a
He was
midfielder.
not a midfielder.
He never
See,
played
but He
midfield.
was never a centre forward.
I'm with you. I'd have had him in that. I mean, if the lads stand, if we stand corrected, fine. But I would have had him in exactly the same.
He is
Standing
not.
corrected, Chris.
All right,
He
we're
is
Fair
not.
He's
enough.
Don't even go
All
there.
right, I'm trying to be diplomatic
We
over it.
double down on this.
Let's start a fight.
And he also, I think, won the league in every season, bar one that he was banned. The one he was banned won the league
he won it
every
with
season in England,
He won it with Leeds as well.
which is
didn't he?
actually
yeah.
incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that till the other day that he basically won it every year.
Is
So
he
he
the
went
best
Leeds,
£1,000,000 ever spent? Eric Cantona.
Yeah, up there.
best foreign import to the
Yeah.
Premier League. It's
Zola.
Omri.
Zola.
Zola. I cannot done more than Zola. Trust me.
Yeah.
Either way.
That's another.
Zola's a striker.
That's another 10. There's your next.
Yeah, but he's because Zola's another
Wasn't, though,
striker.
Was he though?
But he
Zola
was up
played
the
on
top.
left.
It was Zola and Vialli.
No,
as well.
Zola played through the middle.
He did. Zola wasn't a winger. He didn't have the pace.
Yeah, he wasn't a winger.
It was Zola and
played through the
Vialli
middle.
or Zola and Hughes.
Zola eligible for
Yeah.
the list?
Yeah, Zola would have
I'm
been
going to
this.
change mine right now because I fucking love Zola.
Oh.
To that last minute.
Right,
Wow.
anyway, Eric Cantona,
Steward's
King Eric.
Steward's inquiry.
Sam, number 6.
Number 6 was Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. We're going to discuss him later because... Tone, number 6.
It gets very tight now, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is...
Not for me. I'm all over the shop.
I'm going to put Zola in there. I'm actually going to toast somebody who should be in there.
Someone's being associated from the top 6. From the Shearer, from the Liverpool. He's useless. Shearer's gone.
I'm sticking Cantona in mine anyway.
right in there. No, Zola.
Zola.
I remember Zola
awesome,
and
man.
just being like,
What player he was.
And he was quite old when he came to Chelsea as well. wasn't
30.
he?
Yeah.
30, yeah. Yeah, mate, and he had some seasons there. How long?
It was unbelievable. He was there for 5 years. 5-6 years.
Must have been longer, 6 years. Must be
Yeah.
longer. It felt like he was there 10 years.
He left when he
didn't
was-
it?
remember that clip where he just makes a mockery
Of Jamie
Manchester
Carragher.
United. Oh yeah, that bit. And,
Carragher.
Man United, the front post.
Yeah.
Where he dribbles.
When he's dribbling around, schmeichling everyone. And
Puts it for his legs, didn't
it was unbelievable.
he? Yeah.
He was like,
Jamie Carragher, he kills him, doesn't he? In that
Yeah.
clip?
yeah.
Like,
That was
makes
when
him look
Carragher
like
was
a
like,
baboon,
that was
doesn't
when he was still in his prime as well.
Yeah.
Carragher.
I mean, but it was Zola.
Yeah.
he? He was so tricky, wasn't he?
He was just, he was, I always thought, you know what? I always thought Zola looked like, and this is very derogatory, but
a monkey.
So this is going on the internet.
No. You know those dogs with like the bull mastiffs with the long nose? I
think he looks like a monkey.
Like one of them. A monkey, you thought?
Yeah, he always like remind me of a monkey.
I just because he was little and stocky and like
he was some player. The boys at West Ham say that when he came to be our manager, that, and I've heard this from Nobes himself, that they asked, we were going down, and they asked him to register himself as a player to use him because we had no striker.
Really?
Apparently, Scott Parker and Nobes, 44 or something, right? They asked him to register as a player to just come off the bench and help him out, like for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever, free kicks, things like that. They said he was the best player in training whatsoever. In actual fact, I think, and I might be wrong with this, but I think they said you've got to stop training.
Unbelievable.
Because you're making us look.
Really?
Like, basically, there was players that couldn't compete.
Wow.
But right, so you've gone Zola, you went Harry Kane, who you gone?
Robbie Fowler.
Robbie Fowler.
And I'm trying to be diplomatic, but I don't just stick all Liverpool players.
Shearer didn't make it, but Robbie Fowler did.
I'm talking about players. Stop. So I did listen. I qualified this at the start of the year.
Yeah.
These are the players that
he liked to watch,
which is
fair enough.
Enjoyed watching.
Which is fair enough.
Robbie
and I
Fowler's
said
number
I'm a
one,
Liverpool fan, so there's going to be heavy that obviously. So
it's hurt me not putting Robbie Fowler in mine. My number 6, I have gone Erling Haaland.
yeah,
I've gone Haaland. I don't think he's an amazing player, but I think when you see him score goals,
He just knows where the back of the net is.
It is insane.
He knows where the goal is.
He is the epitome of a striker.
Yeah,
He's literally, it's incredible what he does.
He's no
Okay, a bit of a dip this year, bit of injuries, but treble already.
Still 20 plus goals already.
Yeah, 20 plus goals in a bad year.
Yeah.
What we'd say. He if he stays, especially for his contract, a 9-year contract, he will obliterate the Premier League goal scoring record.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he'll even be close, will it?
No.
Number 5, Sam.
Number 5 is Drogba for me.
Drogba. Yeah.
Fair shout.
I think Drogba really, really was a proper player, wasn't he? Do you know who I don't think gets talked about enough, though? I'm sure he's not on any of our lists.
Jamie Vardy.
No. Diego Costa. As well.
Only had 2 good seasons.
Yeah.
But was a good, very Drogba-ish in a way.
Won the league twice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He doesn't get talked about enough.
Absolute menace.
He's not in a top 10, though, is he?
I used to love him having a row with Skirtle all the time.
Yeah.
He used to love a fight with Skirtle.
I love
He
him.
used to love a fight with him.
Yeah.
He was that player.
He was brilliant.
You'd
He
love
could
never fight with
your
his own
team, right?
shadow.
Yeah.
that
You'd
guy.
love him to have him on your team. You'd hate to play against him,
Oh,
but
yeah.
you'd love him if he was one of yours.
Another guy that looked like a monkey.
Yeah.
I think.
I would have considered cutting a few.
Well, there was an old Liverpool sporting director when they signed Luis Suarez. They were going to sign Costa as well, and I don't even know whether it was Edwards.
I can't remember, mate.
But anyway, they said one of the biggest regrets was not signing Costa as well. Could you imagine?
Those 2 up front, that'd be mad.
And Diego Costa up front.
2 lunatics. They'd be biting each other and all that.
Exactly, the 2 biggest lunatics the Premier League has seen.
Probably, yeah. They're up there, aren't they?
Isn't it?
They were. He was proper player though. Tony, you gone number 5? Suarez. Yeah. Again, 2 good seasons. You could argue we've had Diego Costa there.
Yeah.
Because at least Diego Costa won the league twice.
Yeah.
So you're getting it in the neck here today.
Could have had Diego Costa in that one, I would think.
Possibly.
I know when I'm being provoked.
Double league winner.
Double league winner, doesn't make it, but Suarez does. Okay. Who you gone?
Bergkamp. I mean, if he's,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can't not dispute Bergkamp.
Can't disagree with it because he was such a player.
Yeah.
again,
Possibly the greatest bit of skill the Premiership's ever seen.
Agreed. Like, how can he
against
not be on your list?
Newcastle.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
And do you know what? I used to always think it was the ball got played in and he does it with the outside of his right and then turns the other way. But he
it's the
doesn't.
left.
He does it with the left.
What was
And
that guy's
then-
name?
Round.
Which is
Dabizas.
even harder.
Nico Dabizas. He did
Was it against Newcastle?
Yeah, the Greek defender.
Yeah.
And do you remember the one against Leicester where he puts it over the head?
Yeah.
Boom.
what
Well,
I'm
and then
saying.
It was like the one he scored against Holland as well, against Argentina.
Argentina. That goal is
Yeah.
one of the most insane goals.
So,
Because
can we
the way he
argue that-
touches it down like that, Dean brings it down his
Yeah.
foot. Oh,
See, so it's not my list is not completely mental.
No,
I
I agree.
Dennis Bergkamp was-
Bergkamp was.
Just the Shearer one.
I actually put, but for me, it was between Bergkamp
All right,
and Zola.
so who scored better goals, Alan
Yeah.
Shearer or Dennis Bergkamp?
Oh, better
Dennis
goals.
Bergkamp. You just said he was the best goal maybe in Premiership history.
Yes. Yeah. Well, listen. You were talking about
So-
3, but Shearer's. You go through Shearer's.
I know he scored some
Free
worldies.
kicks that were like.
Yeah, volleys.
Yeah,
And,
I know. But were they better than Bergkamp's?
Okay. Who
Where did
scored, who
that-
scored better goals, Bergkamp or Letitia?
Oh,
Beckham.
I don't know.
Letitia.
That one against
All right.
Blackburn.
All right.
That one against
I
Blackburn
like
where he
Letitia.
knees it up and
You know who scored better goals than Letitia? Tony Aboa.
yes.
No,
No,
he had a
had
couple.
2.
He had 2.
He had 2 that
Against
both
Wimbledon-
in the
Wimbledon
park.
and Liverpool.
Wimbledon and Liverpool. Yeah.
yeah.
No, that they weren't better than Letitia's.
That, by the way,
Letitia was a proper player.
We need to get going. So I've got to get
Right.
going.
Letitia on anyone's list?
No.
No, I've gone Aguero.
Me too.
No, that was my 5.
Oh.
My 5 is Aguero.
Okay.
I think
You went for it.
obviously.
Yeah.
I think we forget about how good Aguero was.
It was
actually.
unbelievable.
Have you got him on 4?
Yeah.
Right. So we're doubling with Aguero now.
We're tripling
I
after
think
4 as well.
you've got him on 4 as well. So my 5, your 4.
my
you've
5
got
was Bergkamp, so my 4 is Michael Owen.
Michael Owen. Ooh.
And I'll tell you why. Because
Because he plays for Liverpool.
he plays for Liverpool.
And he liked watching it.
No. But I think that Michael was when he wasn't injured.
was
maybe
exciting.
the most exciting striker that
Very exciting.
you know was ever. You hear the guys talk like Rio Ferdinand talking about him, and also when he did leave us, I remember that being the most gutted I've been as a Liverpool fan.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
He was
that
incredible.
He was a great
I was like, fucking, he was mustard.
He was.
So
I remember his debut against Wimbledon.
yeah.
He
And
scored a
the
couple of
goals
goals.
against Arsenal in the cup
Yeah.
as well. I mean, he was just. You knew if he got the ball, he was going to score.
Yeah.
The Argentina goal.
Yeah,
They
that
just
was
didn't know-
unbelievable.
They didn't know how to deal with him. He was so small.
It was too quick.
And he was strong as
Yeah.
well.
So quick.
And his confidence was off the scale.
Yeah.
And he was 16, I think. Was he 16 or 17 when he
17,
made
I
his
think
debut?
it was. It was around there. But
But
that's
he
my
was
point.
17 when he scored that goal against Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
17 to do that against that Argentinian defence.
It was unbelievable. He
Insane,
was,
isn't it?
he was so good,
Insane.
Michael Owen. My number 4 was Thierry Henry.
Ooh, now that's your most controversial pick, maybe of the morning.
I've gone Thierry Henry. I know he'd be number 1 for a lot of people.
Tell me why. She's like other people better. Like
I've gone real goal scorers for my top 3. That is actually how I've broke this down. Thierry Henry, absolute fantastic, a great goal scorer completely. Obviously, title winner, invincible. There's not much more you can say about him because he is worthy of number 1 spot on any done. I've just gone with 3 better goal scorers for my top 3 is what really I've gone for. 3. So we are on a top 3 now.
We are on a top 3. Should I just say my top 3 so we can? Should we go through it?
No, let's do
No.
No. All right, one by one because I've got to go soon. I've got to get to work. My third is Rooney.
Rooney. Yeah, fair enough.
So,
Shearer.
Shearer.
and I've gone Thierry Henry for my number 3.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
And I've gone Harry Kane
Okay.
for my 3. I think.
He was my sacrificial lamb for Zola.
Was he?
So Harry Kane didn't
Yeah.
make the top
See?
10 for you.
He would have if I didn't put Zola in.
That is quite incredible that the second highest Premier League goal
I know,
scorers
I know.
not made a
Listen,
top 10
he
list
was in
before.
there.
But Suarez is.
He was in there.
And Zola.
No, Zola was like an influence
Okay,
player.
no.
Zola was an influence
Tell me
player.
about
Obviously,
Zola didn't make my list.
But
Well, let me ask you.
Zola should be in there. Zola
Tell me
should
about
be
Harry
in there.
Kane's memorable goals, because I.
No,
Educate me.
listen.
Educate
No,
me.
I can't deny Harry Kane. He was in
No,
mine.
but educate
but I
me.
toasted him
Where
for
the
Zola.
worldies are like. Tell me.
So he scored a few against Arsenal over the years,
He's
and
just
like,
prolific. The
Just-
fellow
but
was
he's
City.
prolific.
And people
They're not-
forget what an amazing
City,
player.
yeah.
I actually think Harry Kane is
He
the
changed his
ideal
game as
blend
well,
of
Kane.
Shearer and Sheringham.
yeah,
You know, like he's kind of that. He's
They
a
were
player
Who
for
did he go
both.
on loan to? Was it Millwall?
Millwall, Norwich,
Leicester.
Leighton Orient, Leicester.
Leighton
Orient.
Yeah.
What are we on now? 2?
2.
2, Sam.
My number 2 is Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry.
Same.
Thierry Henry.
Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney. And I have gone Wayne Rooney.
So we agree on something.
We agree on
God.
that. I think,
Christ.
look, Rooney,
And he could have been my number 1 as well, and I was.
arguably, but See, I've got to give Tony the thing here, is right. Because Rooney did play a lot out wide. Right? So there is an argument. If Salah wasn't allowed, should Rooney be allowed? Right? And I did say this earlier as well.
I've already been saying this for
because he only played through the middle, but he did play through the middle 2 seasons in a row and scored over 30 goals, I think.
He's Man United's all-time top scorer. England's
What number was
Kane is now. So yeah, I think Rooney
was the number 9 for England.
I love Wayne Rooney.
And he was the number
He's
9.
number 9 for England.
Love
Number
He's my
10.
favourite ever English
9 and 10.
Me too.
Yeah.
He's the first name on the team sheet.
Who?
Wayne Rooney. He's fucking amazing. Attitude.
Brilliant player he was.
Animal of a man.
Animal, yeah.
Animal of a man.
Proper.
Since he was 16.
Yeah.
I know.
Didn't have a long career though. Didn't have a long career. Finished by 29, really, wasn't he?
He started early.
Yeah.
He started earlier than most, didn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Remember that goal he scored against Seaman?
Yeah, I do.
First game.
Incredible.
You still see it played on TV today.
And the one against Newcastle, where he's arguing with the referee and
Yeah, he
volleys
runs
it.
up. That's my favourite.
Like, it's the
That's
best.
my favourite.
That's
He's arguing,
actually
goes,
my
hang on, I've just got to go and do this.
Yeah,
and
like-
fucking and just storms through.
Yeah, they talk about the overhead against City.
Oh yeah, forget about that one.
But that goal against Newcastle was my favourite.
That was a
because it's
blinder.
almost just like he's like to the ref, okay, fuck off then. I'm going to score a 30
Yeah,
yards.
and I'll be coming back in a minute.
A goal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he scored like goals where you go, fuck
How did he do that?
Yeah.
I mean, Ronaldo the same. And Salah.
I know. But
Like I get the same. They all score goals that, like, you go, I don't know if he's done that. Number 1,
Shearer.
Rooney.
Luis Suarez.
Chris, come on, my guy.
Get over. Come on.
Suarez. Luis
It's probably a good thing.
The greatest Premier League striker of all time. I wasn't expecting that level of idiocy, but
Was Aguero on your list?
Right, let me tell you. No. I'm telling you, this is my list. Sam
or
and Sam.
Shearer.
Yeah.
Hey, let me
No,
finish.
Shearer, where was he?
Hang
Nine.
on.
Yeah, let the lad speak.
Fair. It's fair.
Let me just find
It's
my
fair.
position
Minnie's out at the back. Minnie, come in.
and witness the lunacy.
Minnie, come in. We're talking about football. Look, we're wearing the same as well today. Look.
at you two.
Say hello to everyone. Say hello to the camera.
Hello.
Minnie, who's the best? Who's the best striker in the whole world? Who's the best footballer in the world? Tell us who's your favourite.
Jared Bowie.
Declan Rice.
Luis Suarez.
Who is it, Minnie? We need an answer. You're live on air. You're not going to tell us?
Phone on fire.
Bowen's on fire. Yeah.
There we
Minnie,
go.
very good.
There you
That's
go.
what we need. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Right, see you in a bit. Shut that door.
Right, hang on. Right, so
We needed a break there because we got to now gather ourselves to listen
I
to
said
why Luis Suarez.
I said right at the start, my list, because obviously Alan Shearer's at the top and Harry Kane and all of them. Luis Suarez, I think, is in with the shout of being the most skillful player that ever graced our pitch.
Amrit, make
And-
sure you're cutting this because we've just become Arsenal fan TV. We've just gone
His
viral.
tie over there.
We've just gone viral.
I did say.
It's the
No,
Scouse
no.
tie.
It is. I did say it's my list.
Yeah.
So, and you can all say yours. I thought I'll do something a bit different because
No,
it's
it's
easy
fair.
to say all the ones that you
It
said.
is fair.
And so Luis Suarez was the guy that gave us belief that we might win it after, what would it have been then, 25
did.
years.
He did.
And we were within an inch of doing it. And he did things on the pitch for that season
You're right.
that no one's done in a Liverpool shirt.
The old nearly men.
100%.
They actually
100%.
sounds like an Arsenal fan there. We were nearly.
No,
Nearly,
because
yeah.
Liverpool
Well, we were
actually
nearly there for
won
30
something.
years, by the way, obviously. Like, we were nearly men. We were the nearly men, Sam.
They were forever.
You know,
they literally
forever.
were.
That was
forever.
quite a good
Yeah.
response. We've
Yeah.
actually won saying. I like that.
So that's why for me, for my pick, he's the guy that I loved watching the most, and that's
He was
been
amazing.
my prerequisite. For
I get it.
for the
It's
pick.
totally fair.
And my number one was Shearer as
Yeah.
well. I get a little bit like that though, because Shearer was probably my
Also,
favourite person to watch.
And look,
I loved him.
Shearer's back in a, unfortunately again, I'm doing a disservice because he's not, he's out of sight, out of memory a little bit, in terms of it was a long time
Recency
ago when he
bias
played.
and all that.
Exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Well played.
What isn't fair on Shearer as well, because he actually scored a few goals in the first division.
Well, also, he
That
never
doesn't-
really played for a
No.
who won anything.
No.
Well, Blackburn
We won
for
the
a couple
Premier.
of
He won the
years.
Premier
Oh, yeah,
League.
true, yeah.
Blackburn for a couple of years,
He
but
did
then
win the Premier
you're
League.
right. And a lot of Shearer's got, and then he also had, I think, 3 seasons out.
Yeah, he did. Did his cruciate.
Because of his
a few
cruciate,
times.
yeah.
He did his cruciate.
Shearer
a
had
couple
some,
of times,
and Shearer's bulk of his goals come in his 30s,
Yeah.
as well, which is mad.
Yeah.
Although I think he did score like 46 one year for Blackburn, didn't he? Something like that.
Something crazy, yeah. He
Like,
did.
but there was 2 extra teams in there.
Southampton
No, Blackburn.
and Southampton.
Yeah, and Southampton he had,
did
but
very
they
well
were
then.
first division.
Yeah.
They were never in the
That's
Premier League, so he doesn't get them goals counted on his. Southampton were in first division before the Premier League.
I know, but I watched Shearer at Anfield in the Premier League, though. Or maybe this was before
Blackburn
the Premier League.
For Blackburn, probably, no?
For Blackburn,
No,
yeah.
but I watched Shearer for Southampton.
No, I don't
Against
think.
Liverpool.
Oh, maybe the first ever year.
Maybe
Let-
maybe
I did.
92, 93.
That's
or something
what
What I
like
was
that.
talking about.
Let me have a look. I might be
Because,
absolutely wrong there, and it maybe it was the first ever year that he was at Southampton. I'm going to check it right
might
now
be, it might
because I don't. That was.
'Cause that
If
was
it is,
one-
I didn't know that.
That was one I was talking about earlier.
Southampton,
He ripped up the
no.
penalty spot.
No, you are
I
wrong.
did. I fucking remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, you didn't because I'm just looking at it here. Southampton 91-92, first division. Premier League, Blackburn 92-93. So his first ever year. He scored 37.
Yeah.
Look at this for Blackburn. 22, 34, 37, 37.
It's unbelievable.
Should probably reevaluate my list, shouldn't I? Really, but
And then there the seasons he had 2 pretty much full seasons out, like half seasons. he
for
played.
Newcastle as well.
For Newcastle, because then he went 28, 7, he was out. 21, 30, 7, again out. 27, 25, 28, 19, 14. That is insane amount of goals.
to see you, boys.
But he scored also.
I am, yeah.
This is what doesn't get. He scored for Southampton in the first division, which don't get counted to his goals, an extra 43 goals.
So he'd have been on 303 Premier League goals. If he'd
Yeah,
done
which
that.
is
Math.
which is hard, isn't it?
That's it.
Right, Sam, we're going to finish it up there.
see you.
Thank you all for following.
Good to see you boys
Comment
as
below.
always.
Make sure you hit
When did the
subscribe.
Premier League start?
92, 93.
So
Okarong.
if I watched him in 92,
He was 91, 92 was in the first division. 92, 93 was in the Premier League.
good to see
For
you,
Blackburn.
Sam. Cheers,
See you
mate.
later.
Good luck. Good luck.
You watched him 92. It was in the first division.
I know, but
If you watched him at
it
Southampton,
was the
he was
year
in the
before
first
the
one.
Premier League
Yeah.
started. Okay.
And that was when he was at Southampton. He went on the year the Premier League started. Right, we're finishing up here.
was
See you all
losing my
later.
mind.